was sleeping and was randomly awakened. I had thoughts before closing my eyes. I did, but my eyes closed before I could get to them. Okay, so we're going to read those real quick. Then I'm gonna take my eyes back to sleep. That's what I'm going to do. But first, before I begin, I'll talk about my day yesterday. Okay, because remember I said when I wake up, I'm supposed to do thoughts when I wake up. When I open my eyes, I'm going to do the last load of laundry. That last load of laundry went from 1 to 3 real quick. Oh, I'm so tired. Actually, it turned into 4 because something dripped all over my rugs in the bathroom, which are white, and I had to wash those too. So I was like, ah. I mean, they were due for a wash though, so it's cool. Um, as you see, I got a reading done. You know what I'm saying? I got everything done still. But I was exhausted, bro. I was exhausted by the end of the day. Okay, because the end of the day, my daughter called. My daughter called and yeah, my baby girl called. She calls so our calls are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I'm sure by now you probably figured that out. So she calls and like midway in the call, I just got cranky. I got cranky as fuck. Kind of snapped at her and she's like, take it easy on my brother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I do take it easy on him. He gets it real easy, but right now, I just need to sleep. Cause listen, Aaron, the night before when I did the all the laundry, right? He didn't go to bed till like 11:30. He was real upset about not being able to sit in my room, and I just didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? So he decided to be disruptive. And then when I woke up at 1:30, dude was wet, which is why I ended up with so many loads of laundry again. But so I was exhausted. Then when I got up at like 6. He got up. So Aaron was legitimately up from like 6 a.m. You know, and I was tired because he impeded the sleep I thought I was about to get when I got off. Excuse me, when I got off live last night or the night before, right? So I was like, dang, bro, like, dang, like this day is just dragging. You know what I'm saying? I was cranky by the time I talked to her. But by the end of the call, you know, I was like, oh, Natty, I'm so sorry about my attitude. You know, I'm apologizing to them and stuff like that. And you know what this little girl said to me? The kids never fail to crack me up, okay? She said, it's all right. At least you got to talk it out. That's how they always respond. They always respond in like it's all right. You was just trying to help me. It's okay. I love you. It's okay. You're real precious. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't get offended by me getting upset. But this shows like I don't want to say maturity because they're not emotionally mature, but they have like a security. There we go. It's an emotional security. So these are the types of moments where I say like building my son and my daughter from afar is like one of my greatest accomplishments. Okay, because she used to be real sensitive about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it's cool. You talked it out, boo. It's all right. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, and also, if you do stuff like that, especially when the older they get, let them know that they're not responsible for making you feel better, or that like they're not really supposed to be hearing you vent like that. But you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Anyways, always trying to give you tips about kids because I've been taking care of children since I was 9 years old. I love children. It'll never get old. It'll never get old. Oh shit, that reminds me of that Dazed and Confused, but on a totally different level. He said he loved high school girls because I get older, they stay the same age. That's not what I mean. You know, it's just they are always going to be a source of wonder and inspiration. Okay, so um, moving on. For some reason, I just happened. I guess I didn't notice it. Right, y'all love doing this blackout shit. I'm gonna let you know. I was always a trendsetter. Always. I'll tell you about a couple times that I know I started something. All right, so in the eighth grade, the school I went to in the eighth grade is a historic landmark now. Um, but because it was so old, the third floor did not have heat when we went to school. You know, I find it interesting because we're not. That was not the only school built like that. Like they really let us go to school in a building that had no heat. But it was just on the third floor, right? So I let the principal know. Like I went to the principal and I was like, "Yo, I gotta wear my gloves because when my hands and feet are cold, I get sleepy." So you know, I asked specifically for permission to wear my gloves. Do you know everyone started wearing their gloves, and they were such a distraction that they had to ban the gloves. This is in the eighth grade. All right, I can take you back to the fifth grade. In the fifth grade, I had a girl cheat on my paper. I know she cheated because I never got up from my seat. She walked past my seat several times, several times. She had identical fucking answers. We both got a 0, but I didn't cheat. Teacher even told me like, I know you didn't cheat, but this is policy. Like what? Fifth grade was an interesting one. All right, so moving on. Senior year, I wore a 16-inch weave. I'm gonna tell you, there was inspiration behind that. I wanted to be like Anne-Marie. Why don't we fall in love? Remember that song? Why don't we fall in love? Why don't we fall in love? It's so many reasons. It's the only thing that matters to me. Yeah, so I got a 16-inch weave. I also took my senior pictures and that shit, and I was fly. I was fly. Oh god. So there was a girl. I don't remember what year she came into school, but her very first day at school, she met me in the bathroom and she asked me for money because she didn't have any lunch money. And I used to carry around my father's money clip. My dad had a money clip. I would carry it around with all this money in it because I had a paper out. I was a babysitter. I think at this point I had a job too, like an actual job. So I was banking, right? So I just pulled my little money clip out, gave her money, and from that point on, she was loyal to me. Like, yeah, not a lot of people do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she would come through anytime I changed my hair. She would come through and try to do it better. And she even admitted to me that that's what she was doing, right? But it wasn't. This was definitely a flattery, not trying to compete with me. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, couldn't nobody compete with her. She was bad, bro. She was bad. Okay, so nobody could compete with her. But she let me know that's what she was doing. So I was like, at that point, 16-inch weave for high schooler was not really, especially where I'm from. Okay, I'm from Canal Winchester. Not a thing we was doing. All right, we was wearing weave and shit, but 16 inches. This chick came in with 20 inches. She said she just needed to know that it was longer than mine. Right? Then everybody was doing it. All right, it's cool though. It's all right. So you know, we ended up being friends for a long time, and I lived in this apartment complex called Ashley Village because I'm that conceited. I even had Ashley furniture when I was living in Ashley Village. Okay, that's why I need a Mercedes because my name is Mercedes. You just can't. Anyway, talk about fucking creating your own reality, right? I live in this place called Ashley Village. She literally lived right across the street. We were so excited, like ah. In fact, I talked about this young lady Because she was the one that never worked 10:01. She didn't work because she was just that fly. She just had dudes cashing her out. She didn't touch on shit. She was amazing. But you know, okay. So the last thing, I really feel like I started that one nail different trend, and not like recently. I mean, when I first started doing it, and maybe I wasn't the first one to ever do it, but I revived it because before that point, I never saw any famous people do it. I never saw anybody do it. I just did it because I noticed one day when I did it what it did. And if you notice, I got a fingernail right now that's shorter than all the rest of them, and I made it the same color as the primaries. Okay, so the primary is the white. You can tell, but if I wouldn't have colored it, you probably wouldn't have, you probably wouldn't have noticed. I can see it like very clearly. But anyways, and so when I had seen Rihanna do it, um, I feel like it was like it got around to her type thing, right? And right now, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually really disappointed about the way the Tory Lanez case turned out, but not really because if you look at the charges aren't about. Damn it. Hold up. I have an article pulled up already, so let me see what the charges were again. Um, Felony count of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, negligent discharge of a firearm, and carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle. All right, so uh, I can't. I don't really agree with the assault charge, but all the other ones are very legit. He acknowledges that he did in fact have a firearm in the vehicle. He his even the witness provided. He okay, they're saying that Kelsey shot her. The witness said Kelsey shot, and he came and tried to get the gun from her, and the firearm discharged. So those are, you can't argue with those. You can't argue with the possession of the gun, and you can't argue with the negligent discharge of the gun. The only thing from the jump, when I heard it, the first thing I thought was Kelsey shot her. Like, I know what the text say, what she's saying, oh, I forget, whatever. My dad used to tell me, for shit like that, you didn't forget. You didn't forget shit. You didn't forget shit. You say you forgot when you don't want to admit or own up or be honest, right? So, or I don't know. I don't know. That's what it wasn't. I forget. It was I don't know, right? When you say I don't know, you actually do fucking know. Dig a little deeper. You know. So, I think that the only thing I don't agree with is the assault. And it's not because Megan is a liar, okay? There is a such thing as not having all the details and just piecing shit together from what you know or what you heard. And being that she was intoxicated, she could have said, she could have been mistaken, because I feel like it was Kelsey, and she may have even hesitated to tell the truth about being shot at the scene because it was her best friend and not necessarily him, right? All of them had fragments and stories, and was riddled with deception. So, I can't. That's just how I felt, like immediately, like her best friend did that shit, and she gonna get away with it. I don't really mind, it is what it is. It is what it is, but I am disappointed. The man disappointed me. I don't like how all the social media, how he, oh no, I didn't do it, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? And like your lawyers like definitely got the other, I don't know. It's hard to I'm disappointed. Okay. It's okay. The verdict, like I said, you can't argue with the verdict because one, he did in fact he admitted to having the gun. I mean, come on, he admitted to having the gun. The witness that they provided said that he tried to take the gun and it was discharged. So I mean, they're valid charges. It's just the boy disappointed me. Okay, it's because of our brief fling a couple years back. Don't forget, I'm in imaginary friend land. But anyway, I'm going back to sleep now. Those were my thoughts before closing my eyes, but I closed them because I rested really well. Um, I rested really well. It was necessary. Y'all have a wonderful evening.